These are the top 10 countries with the biggest maximum unlockable core population. Starting at number 10, we got Soviet Union. This one is a bit ironic because in order to get the maximum cores, you actually have to stop being the Soviet Union. You basically have to go for beaten but not defeated path and then work your way down the focus tree and do pan-Slavic nationalism focus. This sends an ultimatum for all the Slavic countries. However, you also get access to these decisions, basically integrating all the 4 Slavic countries. You basically end up having these cores. Also, let's not forget Alternativa, which is your core at the start of the game. Soviet Union ends up with 229.05 million core population. Number 9 is British Raj. This one is pretty straightforward, as it already starts with almost fully unlocked core population. The only way you can actually increase this population as British Raj is if you conquer Goa from Portugal and also French India, obviously from France. Anyway, you end up having 313.95 million people. As I said, pretty straightforward. Number 8 goes to another pan-Slavic country, and that's Poland. For the maximum cores of Poland, you'd have to go for the Romanov path. Anyway, to actually get the maximum cores, it's pretty complicated. First, the Greece would have to revive the Byzantium and also do triumph for Italy and triumph for Levant. Bulgaria would have to go for the unification of the Balkans focus. After that, Austria-Hungary would have to be formed by Czechoslovakia. Also, on top of that, somehow Georgia, Armenia and Azerbaijan will have to lose their cores. And also the same thing would have to happen with Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. In the meantime, Poland would have to also restore the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Germany would also have to form the Reichskommissariat Ostland. However, besides all of that, Poland would still have to do the Man-Pomerania focus, and Germany would have to actually accept, because there is no other way they can core this state. And finally, if this all has been done, if Poland does proclaim Slavic unity focus, then they get their maximum cores, which would look like this. By the way, now when I think of it, Poland would literally core all the 3 realms. Anyway, Poland would have core population of 327.74 million people. At the 7th place we got France. France can get its cores by doing the European Union. It can also get cores by uniting crowns with Spain if they go monarchist. This could be maximized if Portugal previously went monarchist and cored Brazil and also integrated Angola and Mozambique. And after that, if Spain united Iberia with Portugal, France could end up coring all of that stuff. And finally, France can also increase its cores, doing the good old French Union, coring their colonies in Southeast Asia, Central Africa, Western Africa, Northwestern Africa, and also French Syria. This can be maximized if one of the 3 countries that they control in Northwest Africa forms Al-Andalus, and also if either Syria or Lebanon form Arabia. So they end up coring all the things that these countries would core. Basically all of Arabia, eastern part of Turkey, Caucasus, Iran, Afghanistan and even Pakistan, all cored by France. France ends up with 395.05 million maximum core population. On the 6th place we got 7 different countries, and you know exactly why. Nah, that's not why. This is why. Basically, China, Communist China, Manchukuo, and also warlords of Xibei Sanma, Shangji, Guangxi, and Yunnan all have the same maximum core population. China and Communist China have that core population at the start. Warlords would have to go either for the power struggle, the Yan'an incident, or they'd have to proclaim their rival government. Manchukuo can either go for the national cooperation government if they go for the obedience path, or reclaim the empire if they go for the assertiveness path. All of those countries at the end of the day have the exact same cores, which look like this, with a population of 489.99 million. I said this number so many times that I know it by heart at this point. Now you might be thinking that the 5th place goes to the Sinkiang because they can also get some extra cores. However, that's not the case. The 5th place actually goes to Italy. There's actually 3 main ways they can gain these cores. First one is by going for Mare Nostrum and forming the Roman Empire and doing all of these reintegration decisions. The second way they can get cores is once they go democratic, they can realize European unity and form the EU, which barely gives them some extra cores, basically only in the Eastern Germany. And the third way they can gain cores is actually by abolishing the colonies. This is all possible in one single run. Believe it or don't. The Italian cores would look like this, with the maximum core population of 503.7 million people. On the 4th place we now finally have Sinkiang. As you all probably are aware, Sinkiang can core all of China like all the other Chinas, except for poor Mengukuo, basically coring all of this. But besides that, Sinkiang can also do United Turks decision. Unfortunately, thanks to the sparse population here, it only boosts its core population so slightly to 507.41 million. On the 3rd place, as expected, we got United Kingdom. That's because they can get so many cores. First things first, they can do the Imperial Federation, which can core all of Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and most of Africa. Second thing, New Zealand can actually core all of Pacific, including Taiwan even. So yes, China and UK have one potential core state in common. Also, South Africa can form the Mutapa, and let's not forget about the best part of this formable, and that's the Dominion of North America. UK can also core off Ireland by just annexing them and then doing the Unite the Anglosphere focus. And besides that, UK can also form the EU. And also they can inherit every single French core. So yeah, at the end of the day, UK ends up coring even the most mundane places ever, like Brazil or Pakistan, and all of the French colonies, while not being able to core their own colonies, like Nigeria. Anyway, the Britain's maximum core population is 598.55 million people. We've got 2 countries to go, but you probably know about only one of them. The one that not many people know about, which is actually the country with the second largest potential core population, it's actually Switzerland. Basically, if they go for the left path of the focus tree, Gotthardbund and then press for Vorarlberg. If they go for the new Eidgenossenschaft, after that they can do the focus called Expanded Confederation. Unlocks decision influence future cantons, unlocks decision press country for influenced future cantons. This unlocks decisions which are too long, take too much political power, have too big of an RNG element to them, and honestly sometimes just bug out. Basically, every state that you actually border, what you can do is influence it. Once you influence it, you end up claiming it. After you claim it, you press the country that owns it for actually giving you that stuff. If they say yes, you just end up owning the state and also coring it. However, if they say no, you still core the state, you just don't end up owning it. So what's the issue here? Well, there is an RNG element when you first time try to influence the state. As you can see, 37% chance to actually, or actually 41% chance to actually get a claim. The issue is that you can only do one of each type of decisions at once, but they all take 3 months to actually do. And yeah, you can just imagine how frustrating it is when you have to do it for the 10th time just to end up having a new state to core. The issue is also if you manage to conquer these states, you can't core them anymore, so you have to literally just beg to get them. Anyway, you might be wondering how much land can Switzerland actually core doing these decisions. Basically, this is it. They can core all of mainland Europe, mainland Asia and mainland Africa, adding up to a total of 1.59 billion people. So that means there's only one country left to sit on the throne. And come on, let's be honest, we all know which country it is. It's obviously Spain, if they go anarchist, right? Wrong, that's not true. That's because if Spain goes anarchist, they can core most of the world. But there are some states that they can never core. First type of states is the states that they can never core, and those are the states which are basically impossible, because in order for anarchist Spain to core the state, you have to have a certain amount of compliance and resistance, but since these states have turned off resistance mechanic, then they just can't do it. The second type of states that they can't core is the states nobody has any cores on. For example, Seychelles. Nobody has any cores on Seychelles, which means that nobody can rise up, so resistance mechanic is turned off, which means that they can't get the compliance and resistance requirements, so they can't core the state. However, these states could in theory be cored if some other country would in theory come and core it previously. A good example of that is, for example, Falkland Islands, which are not cored by anyone at the start of the game, but if the UK decolonizes, Argentina can core it. There's about 3.6 million population that you have non-core at the end of the day, but there is a way you can have zero non-core, basically coring everyone in the world. I'm just gonna say that it's a bit complicated. I made a video about it. I'm gonna leave it in the corner if you want to watch. But yes, Spain is still the country which can have the biggest core population in the world, which is 2.1 billion people. Oh my god, this took forever. Thanks for watching.